Yeah, those people have been rescued.
And that was just, when you see the pictures, you're like, oh,
Tangled in the wires.
it's just, man. And they had to de-electrify the wires.
Yeah.
They couldn't get up, so we can't rescue them. The wires are live. So they had to shut it down, which shut off power. I think that probably close to 90,000 people. I don't know if the power is up yet. One of the things I was thinking of is, that plane, when you're, and I was watching a documentary over the time we had off about these helicopter pilots that, actually repair the lines, the helicopters, and the guy that sits out there and they repair the lines from, above on a helicopter, and they said, as long as we're not near the ground, we're okay. The guy still has to wear a suit, the guy who's actually touching the lines, but the fact is, it's extremely dangerous. And I'm thinking, if that plane, that plane's in there and it's like, it went into the wires and fell down.
Yeah.
And my thought was, if the back tail or something just touched the tower, the front of the plane's, embedded in an electric line that's live, as long as you have those, as long as you're separated with those big insulators,
Right.
the big ceramic insulators, whatever they are, you're fine. But if you're actually touching a live line, and my fear was, and the tail, for example, is touching the tower, would that complete the connection down to the ground? And apparently it didn't, because they were all okay. Or would that protect you if you're inside the plane? Would it go around you? I don't know. Electricity. You don't want to screw with electricity. But it's good to see that they were all rescued. So, wow.
Yeah, I couldn't have
experienced that.
And
they're expected to survive.
Yeah. Then the other story that came out while we were out, the guy that either jumped or fell off of a cruise ship in the Gulf of Mexico, and he was treading water the entire time he was out there. There was a merchant ship that helped to find him, and then the Coast Guard rescued the guy. But they said that the water where he was roughly 70 degrees, but still you could have, being in the water for that long, you could still have signs of hypothermia. But apparently the guy was okay when they rescued him.
How?
I don't know.
Now I'm reading here they say despite water temperatures in the 60s and the 70s, they said hypothermia can start after several hours.
Right. And so Carnival Cruise Shipping, Carnival issued a release basically saying it's nearly impossible unless someone climbs up on the rails to fall over. You basically have to be climbing over the safety rail in order to fall or jump. And the guy, last I saw, this is a couple hours ago, still hasn't been identified, and it's unknown whether or not he did that on purpose.
Now they say half a day, so he was buoy data observation show the water temperature in the 60s to lower 70s in the region. I know, because one of my things, especially during October and November, I can't do it now, is when my pool water is between 68 and 73.
Right.
I love jumping in. Yeah. And I don't stay in for a long time. But if the water's 70, I can feel my legs starting to go a little numb at 70. And I grew up swimming in 70-degree water.
Yeah, I swim in Lake Tahoe. It's 60. Between 60 and 65, depending on.
And you put me in 60, 65-degree water.
Yeah.
I freeze up. I don't. And this guy they said, apparently spent more than half a day, which is more than 12 hours, in that kind of water. I don't know if that was kind of cold.
And you could see the thermal imaging that they used to help locate him from the Coast Guard. He was having trouble. It wasn't really rough seas. They called them active seas. I couldn't tell how big the swells were, but they didn't look like massive swells. But he was still having trouble treading water. His head was going repeatedly. But they found him and he was still in good shape. I'm guessing he was out. obviously hydrated.
28.
Yeah.
I'm asking this question simply because of science. Was he over? And the only reason I'm asking is because weight, you may have a little bit more insulation.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm being serious.
Right. Yeah.
And because I don't know how in that kind of, and that's tough. You know, you too. I mean, you were, I passed all the lifeguard stuff. You were a lifeguard, and I still know that how tough it is if you're in the middle of a lake and you need to swim a couple of miles. If you're not experienced, that's tough. Or if you're in the water and just have to tread water, we had to do that in life saving. I don't remember how long we had to tread water, but I know it was over an hour. You had to tread water for a while. But that was nice, 80-degree, 82-degree pool water.
Yeah, in the job training, you had to try with sandbags. You had to bring them up from the seabed.
All right.
Put them, and carry them how you're supposed to carry a person, across the ship. And you had to do that, repeatedly, and then you had to kind of sit there and tread for a while, and then go the full length of the Olympic length, and then bring it, take it all the way back.
I remember swimming with the 10-pound bricks.
Yeah.
Bricks go right to the bottom.
Yeah.
And you realized, even in water, the 10-pound bricks were heavy when you had to swim with them for any length of time.
Right. Well, the biggest challenge for me during the job training was the head lifeguard pretending like he was drowning, and you had to bring him back. And if you didn't do that, you didn't pass. And I was scrawny, and I still don't know to this day how I did it. But I can't imagine being out there in the open, the Gulf of waters, and treading like that.
Daily Mail UK. Carnival cruiser 28 fell overboard after he was repeatedly told to stop vaping by staff while drunk. Passenger claims as victim recovers from 15 hours in the Gulf of Mexico. The overboard man was with his sister in one of the ship's bars until 11 p.m. when he vanished.
Well, they say fell, but you have to climb over that bridge. It's not of a height where you can just, fall over. Yeah. They serve a lot of alcohol on the ships. And by the way, this isn't as rare as you would think. It's quite unfortunate, but a number of people commit suicide, go overboard. And they do believe a number of people in that group are suicidal. There's no reason to believe this guy was. He may have just been climbing around, but he had to climb over that safety.
Okay, so a friend of mine, she just went on a cruise, and she had a cruise that had a door that had a little deck on it. Now, you could that deck was only 3 or 4 feet high. Is there a safety net, so if you fall off that, you're not falling into the water?
No, there's a rail that you couldn't see in the picture. That's bigger than 3 or 4. Yeah, no, they're much taller.
Or she was in further. I'll show you. I think I have the picture. I'll show you the picture. Because it is not a tall, it's very, very small deck that she has outside that you can sit on, lounge chair or whatever.
Right.
So that's because I was thinking,
You can jump over. Yeah.
I'll look at the picture.
No. And they are, and also the floors are a bit staggered, depending, I don't know where she was.
That's what I mean. She might have been in more where.
Yeah, but you still don't have like a 3 or 4 foot rail. It's taller. So this reeks of somebody clowning, and that's
being drunk.
highly unfortunate. It's if that is the case, it's absolutely. Because chances of you being found, you might be able to tread water. Just say you could tread water for a couple of days. Finding you is the hard part.
Oh. I would assume if I went over, I would never.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty much.
That's what I'd be thinking when I'm in the water.
Right.
I'm not going to out.
Right. Unless you're at a port, they're not going to fight. And in fact, it was somebody from the Coast Guard saying this really was a Thanksgiving miracle on two fronts. That it was found, and that it was pretty much okay when they found it. That it was in pretty good shape for having been proven. Look, you start getting into the mentality of somebody suicidal, and that's something for somebody who's qualified to talk about it. When it comes to drinking and playing around, that just becomes stupid. There's just no excuse for that whatsoever. And you're putting other people in harm.
That is one lucky human being.
No doubt.
866-90 Red Eye.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
Progressive Commercial Insurance protects truck owners with specialized coverages for heavy trucks. Get a quote in as little as 5 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Eric Harley and Gary McNamara for the best-selling Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. It uses proven oxy technology that quickly destroys odors, viruses, and more. With over 265,000 already sold, it works. And the Thunderstorm makes a great gift for the summer. We got a great deal on a 3-pack to tell you about.
Eric, I love mine. The powerful Thunderstorm destroys smells in just seconds and even works behind and under furniture. Plus, no filters to buy over and over and over again.
Right now, save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack. You get 3 units for under $200. Keep one for yourself and give the other 2 as gifts. They'll love it. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and put in the discount code REDEYE3 to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com, discount code REDEYE3. Do it now. Shipping is free.
The forgotten poor are in need of healing. They wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
If you depend on a truck to make a living, then American Trucker is for you. Every day, Trucker.com is packed with information you need to keep your truck running and the money rolling. From new products to the latest in regulations, American Trucker has what you need to know. American Trucker staff knows that you are running a small business, and they work hard to bring you news and information that matters. So don't miss American Trucker's free newsletter. Go to Trucker.com. That's Trucker.com and sign up today. Sponsored by Fleet Owner. Do you suffer from any type of chronic neck or back pain? Whether it's a bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, spinal stenosis, or even bone-on-bone arthritis. You've probably tried most doctors and get little relief, or are told dangerous medications and surgeries are your only option. Dr. John Filippini, the Danville Disc Doctor, has more options for your treatment than ever before. With state-of-the-art equipment and an integrative medical office, you can have 80 to 100% relief within a few treatments to a couple of months. Dr. Filippini has helped thousands of patients, but he's never seen such great results as he has in the last couple of years. This is due to individualized treatment programs that fit each patient's needs and budget. Depending on the treatment, insurance may cover some or even all of your program. Call Dr. Filippini at 925-999-4067 to get in on his $39 exam special, or visit DanvilleDiscDoctor.com for more information. That's 925-999-4067 or DanvilleDiscDoctor.com.
Your friends are your friends. Don't hire them as your real estate agents. Let the Jameson team, Bob and Sandy Jameson with Toscana Properties,
sell your home. They give us this great example of Manisha and her husband selling an Oakland home, listed with a friend. I think some of us have done that. Spent thousands of bucks remodeling the home, had it sit and sit and sit on the market. They dropped the price, dropped the price, dropped the price. Finally, they called the Jameson team. Their marketing immediately made a difference. Within 6 days, they had an offer for well over the asking price. Call the Jameson team first.
The Jameson team spends over $700,000 a year marketing that drives buyers to your home. Don't just hire someone you like, hire the Jameson team.
Yeah, call the only agents we'd call to sell our homes. Bob and Sandy Jameson of the Jameson team. I've been in real estate in the past. I know who to trust. We trust and admire Bob and Sandy of the Jameson team.
Give them a call, 408-686-HOME, or online at sandybuyers.com.
The Jameson team, Tuscana Properties, DRE license number 018453393.
Radio, he is Eric Curley, and I'm Gary McNamara, 866-90 Red Eye. If you'd like to get in on the show today, I want to play this audio cut. Just a potpourri of things while we were gone on Thanksgiving. Yeah, and we all know that Fauci retired, and we all know that Fauci and the government was on the Sunday morning news shows yesterday. Members of the CDC promoting the fact that doggone if people aren't getting their COVID shots. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz yesterday.
You heard Dr. Fauci. The administration is launching a new campaign urging people to get those flu shots, get those COVID boosters. It's only about 11% have gotten the booster so far, maybe 42 million the flu shot. We've talked about this so many times. People aren't listening. What do? You heard Dr.
They are listening. Yeah, they are. They're doing what they've always done. They're assessing their own risk. They are listening. What happened was, early on, you had most people, based on the information that they had at that time, the vast majority of the population got their first COVID shots. Yep. After the entire population had got their first COVID shots, and then I believe it was sometime between then and the booster where it became clear that the shots did not stop the transmission of the virus. Right. And so then, and at that time, that was being ignored by the media. That part of it was being ignored. And then, after that, what became clear, and became clearer every month that went by, even though we knew it up front, because this never changed, that COVID was extremely dangerous if you look at the death rate compared to the flu for elderly, obese, and those elderly / and or obese and or underlying conditions. And so if you're my age with an underlying condition, your chance of dying is much greater. I can't tell you how many times, probably, 100 times greater than somebody who was healthy at 40. Completely different ballgame. If you have having type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, which is high blood pressure and everything that goes along with that, hypertension and all that, genetically, that in my age, I'm much more susceptible than somebody who is 20 and 30. A lot of people that were young got their COVID shots and went, oh, I'm not really affected by this. And many people themselves got the virus and then said, well, I've got better immunity than if I had the shot. And that's where we stand right now. And because the American public knows that the government played politics with it, they don't trust a damn thing they say.
Yeah, they certainly don't trust the media. The media doesn't win this with anyone. And it doesn't matter. We saw that starting to happen right away. Right now, it really is, it has become, for quite some time, has been about the conversation you have with your doctor, or the decision you've already made, you made long ago. I'm either going to get the vaccine or I'm not. Yeah. It's that simple, and it's so far behind us. People are just tired of hearing of COVID. Everybody's tired of hearing, the media go on and on and on about it in some kind of hyperactive crisis mode. We made the decisions for ourselves, and you're not going to